myself, everyone in the NASCAR Winston Cup Garage, and especially on behalf of our Jim Goodrich team, we appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Keep it up and come home safe.
That's Kevin Harvick. Excuse me. A big welcome to all of our American coalition forces watching on American Forces Network around the world. We're all very proud of you. 65 laps. Bill Elliott did pit under this caution. He stayed out, led a lap to collect 5 bonus points. And here's where our Coca-Cola Racing family sits at the moment. Elliott back to 18. Not quite the last car on the lead lap because there have been more pit stops, including Dale Jarrett and Kurt Busch, and John Andretti, who is still on the lead lap. So is Tony Stewart. Remember, Steve Park got caught 2 laps down when they had to fix his spoiler. Bobby Labonte crash damage. Jeff Burton and Ricky Rudd in the garage. Dick Berggren?
Well, Sterling Marlin just pitted for some more fuel, and they did a little tape work on the nose, Mike, but you know how strange Talladega is. All sorts of weird things happen here. Sterling was on the backstretch and hit the button on his steering wheel to talk to the crew, but instead he hit the engine kill switch button, killed the motor. Tony Santana Cola in the pit area said that when that happened, not only did the motor stop, his heart stopped too. They got it fixed. He got going again. He's just taking some more fuel. Steve Burns.
Hey, thanks, Dick. I said earlier that Matt Kentz's team was using Bear Bond tape to replace or work on that front grille. This is a tape that's very similar to what plumbers will use. Now, on that last pit stop, Matt Kentz came in. They took right side tires. They were going to pull a little piece of tape off the grille, but it got hung up in this Bear Bond tape, so they weren't able to do it on that stop.
You know, Larry was talking about the Dodges not getting great fuel mileage. I mean, Bill Elliott waited a lap or two, come in. If you get topped up now, you can run as far as maybe the guys that do get fuel mileage, which will be a big plus here later on.
And definitely talking to Lee McCall, Sterling Marlin's crew chief this morning, of all the guys that I took a poll as far as how far you could run, they probably could run the least amount of laps.
These cars won't meet the corporate average fuel economy numbers. They get about 8 miles per gallon under caution, about 4 miles per gallon, 4 to 5 miles per gallon under green. 66 laps complete. 3 Chevys, 2 Fords, a Pontiac, and a Dodge in the first 7 positions. Pontiac nor Ford have led a lap yet today as we get set for the restart.
That's not too shabby when you think about it. I mean, you're running 190 miles an hour and you're wide open. So that's pretty darn good gas mileage.
You know what, guys? A few months ago, a lot of people spent money at Christmas for some surround sound. What do you think we
I know where you're going.
Crank it up here.
Let's do that.
What do you think? Let's crank it up.
Crank her up, boys.
Jimmy Johnson hauls this fast freight train around Talladega. 68 laps complete. Mike Skinner is the latest of the crash-damaged cars to return to the racetrack.
And this is definitely a race of the haves and the have-nots. The haves have all their body. The have-nots only got about half of them.
That's right. Let's go to the leader's pit.
And that's the 48. Chad Canals, your car's out front. Now, what's the deal that you and Slugger Labby have worked out?
Right now, with the way the race is playing out, there's a bunch of guys being able to make moves on the outside. You know what happens, guy gets up front, he starts riding the brake. The guys on the outside are able to get a run. So we're just going to try to stay in line, stay the bottom and keep that from happening if we can. We're getting comparable fuel mileage, so we're going to try to work together, you know, for the rest of the race and see what happens.
To Jeannie Zalasko.
Well, the 22 of Ward Burton complaining about a bad vibration. He says it feels like a tire is about to blow. His crew chief, Frankie Stoddard, thinks they might have lost wheel weight. We'll keep you posted.
And what Chad's talking about, like the guy gets up front and he rides the brake, what you want to do is time it just right where you break people's momentum. If you're leading the race and you're protecting the bottom with that yellow line, you run down in the corner, let up out of the gas, or hit the brake, kind of gets everybody checking up, and they can't get around you. It takes too long to recover.
And Ward Burton's problem, you know what happens in your passenger car if you lose a wheel weight and get that harmonic vibration at certain speeds at 70 on the highway, maybe? We'll try that at 2.5 times the speed.
Yeah, that, or, you know, if you just leave it, this racetrack particularly, if you leave a lug nut loose, or there are a number of other things that could be going on there.
Like Dick Beatty used to say, that vibration, it's not going to go away.
It won't fix itself normally.
And we're back to 3 wide. Tony Raines in the middle, that unsponsored white car. Now he drops to the bottom.
And the thing about a vibration, I mean, the driver, he's the only one that really knows how bad it is. And so it really ends up being your call. And you hate to come to pit road and find out there was nothing wrong. But you're sitting there holding your breath, hoping everything's all right.
And Ward Burton is drifting back toward the back of the lead pack now. He's back there with Sterling Marlin back at about 22nd position.
And he might be wanting to get back out of the fray there where he can really make a decision on what kind of problem he's got.
And I tell you what, talking about drifting to the back, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 8 car, that car is not right. He is losing the lead draft up there, and he's running about a half a second slower than the leaders. We thought catching up there, you see him right there, the Budweiser car, we thought catching up with that caution would put him back in good shape, but that car is just not there now, Darrell.
Apparently the damage to the nose is a lot worse than it appears to be.
Well, it may be just more than aero damage on the nose. Greg Biffle's car is all taped up, but he's right up there with the pack.
Biffle's damage is more to the side of the car, Mike, and Dale Jr.'s is in the front. That's a lot worse place to have damage.
Greg Biffle in the 16 car, he's sitting up there in 6th position. It has been an eventful day with all the damage, running hot, and these guys, they just refuse to die with this thing.
Did the same thing. I just think back to Bristol. Did the same thing. Fought it, and came home with a good finish.
Top 5 finish.
And I tell you, nobody's driving any more aggressively than he is, because he goes high, low, middle. He just, you know, if there's a crack, he goes in there.
2 drivers you'd expect to be having a better day are Earnhardt Jr. and the Winston Cup champ Tony Stewart, who got a little damage also in that wreck at lap 4, and he is back 1 spot behind Jr. in 23rd. There are 24 cars on the lead lap.
And you can see the damage on the nose, and that's the worst place you can have it here.
Jimmy Johnson at 73 laps leads the Aaron's 499 on 5.